See what's happening. We'll start out with this last storm that came on through. This one here was juicy. The headlines for a little bit. I don't think that's going to happen because we've got the intense cold that'll go through Monday, and then we'll be looking at eyeing a storm that could be a pretty juicy one by the time we get to Wednesday.
Juicy?
Juicy meaning a lot of moisture, meaning if it's cold enough, a lot of snow. But it's a long way out, 5 days still. Let's take a look together and see what's happening. We'll start out with this last storm that came on through. This one here was juicy enough, wasn't it? We ended up finding what was a foot of snow. In fact, some spots more than that. Cary, Maine, up in northern Maine, 20 inches of snow that's on the ground right now. Amazing stuff. You guys have been great. Our viewers have been wonderful. Weather at NECN.com, our email address. You let us know all day long how much you were picking up. Generally 6+ for a lot of areas. Then you get the 12, and now, of course, the 12+ as we approach the 1.5-foot mark now in parts of Aroostook County. We're getting rid of the snow, though. Snow's done at Presque Isle, just some leftover flurries at Bangor. And now temperatures are running in the teens and 20s, but single digits just across the border, 9 degrees in Quebec right now. So here's the thing. We have a couple of flurries across the mountains, but most of the skies are clearing. But with clearing skies, we can really cool off tonight. A lot of spots will go down to the single digits north and teens south. You look back to the west, there is a disturbance back here. All right, this one is going to pretty much weaken as it moves east. It could bring us a snow shower on Saturday night. Otherwise, though, high pressure, fair weather's in charge. So you've got a fair weekend ahead of you. You will see sunshine over the course of the weekend. At times you'll see plenty of it. But we get a north wind on the front side of that fair weather cell, and that means you got a real cold wind coming down out of Canada where it's 20 to 30 degrees below zero. So here's how it's going to work. Tomorrow, the leading edge to that cold, we draw it as a cold front, a big blue line here, is going to be settling south. I would say high temperatures in the far north country tomorrow, probably only about 10. Most of northern New England about 10 to 15. Southern New England likely to be 20 or even 20 to 25. But that frigid air keeps settling south, and that means that after perhaps a few snow showers with a leading edge to it in southern New England Saturday night, Sunday the frigid air is in place. Most spots will find temperatures ranging from the single digits for highs north to the teens south, and Monday it only grows more intense. So let's go time frame by time frame here. We'll start out with tonight. The low temperatures dropping down below zero in Vermont. Still an active wind, so you can take off about 10 degrees from all these temperatures for what it will feel like at the coldest time of the night. During the day tomorrow, 24 is not bad in Boston by New England winter standards anyway. 21 degrees at Framingham and running in the 20s or at least upper teens to around 20 for a lot of southern New England. But here you see what I mean about northern New England. 10 at St. Johnsbury, 11 at Burlington, Vermont, a couple of mountain snow showers. Take it out to Sunday, and remember the cold air gets more intense. 18 at Boston, the coldest air since 2009. 3 degrees at Burlington, Vermont for a high temperature on Sunday. -2 at Presque Isle. We're not done yet. On Monday, the cold air keeps building in. A high of -4 at Presque Isle, a high of 15 at Boston. That would be the coldest high temperature since back in 08. And 0 degrees for the high temperature at Burlington. Remarkable stuff. So that's the cold. The snow would return by the middle of next week, along about Tuesday night into Wednesday, and may last into Thursday. My goodness, it is going to be a busy stretch in terms of the weather. I have a lot more on this storm coming up in the next weather segment about 20 minutes from now. I look forward to seeing you then.
Around our world, Osama bin Laden is reportedly threatening France in a new audio message. The message, believed to be from the al-Qaeda leader, was broadcast on Al Jazeera today. Bin Laden demands France withdraw its troops from Afghanistan in exchange for the release of French hostages being held by al-Qaeda affiliates. French officials say they're still trying to authenticate the message.
Too much. I feel like my finger is gonna broke.
It's true. It's just so cold. People are really suffering. Record-breaking cold temperatures in some states in the Northeast, bracing for yet another snowstorm. Chief Meteorologist Rick Reichmuth in the Fox Weather Center. Come on, Rick, you got to find sunshine somewhere.
California, how's that?
Okay.
All right, they've got temperatures above 70. San Diego, Los Angeles again. They're going to see that again today, but not most of the rest of the country. It feels like it's actual air temperature right now, -6 in Minneapolis. I've been getting messages on Twitter all day. People in Florida this morning staying inside because the temps are just into the 20s. 19 in New York, 13 in Cleveland. It's also breezy out there, so factor in some of the wind, and you see these colors really drop. Feels like -6 in Minneapolis, 0 in Chicago, even down across parts of the South. New Orleans feels like 45. So the cold is here. We've got a couple more days of it, and then we're going to see things change up a little bit. Eastern part of the country looking good, but you'll notice this storm here that's across parts of Missouri in towards Arkansas. It dropped a lot of snow, about 8 inches of snow. in around the Omaha area yesterday and overnight, and now we're seeing this kind of develop here across parts of the plains. As we move forward over the next couple of days, this becomes a weather maker across areas of the south, and we're going to be seeing a lot of rain tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday, all across parts of the deep south. Might even see a few thunderstorms, maybe some severe weather across Florida on the day on Tuesday. Then we watch this storm for what happens. Some of the models pulling it out to sea. That would be great news. No effects across the Northeast if that's the case. Other models pulling it much closer and looking like a nor'easter. If this happens by Wednesday into Thursday, Jamie, we could be dealing with kind of a blockbuster blizzard potentially again across parts of the Northeast, areas that have seen so much snow already and all the cold. So let's hope that doesn't happen, but we'll keep watching it. Here you go. Tomorrow, the coldest day, only getting to 19 high in New York, 12 in Boston, 1 in Burlington. And tonight, temps are going to be below 0 all across the area. Windy, wind chill advisories in effect, in fact. Jamie.
Rick, thanks so much. See you soon.
Well, it's not tea, but oil in Boston Harbor. The Coast Guard in Massachusetts this morning looking for the source. That sheen of oil stretches about 800 feet long and it's 20 feet wide. The Coast Guard lowered booms into the harbor to gather up the oil. A large area of the oil appears to be located right near a tanker, but authorities still are trying to work out exactly what that source is. A worker from the reports that the spill was known for today.
Their superiority may stem from America's own expertise. Listen to this. We are learning some of the technology in China's recently unveiled J-20 stealth fighter may come from China said getting out from a U.S. F-117 Nighthawk that was shot down over Siberia during the war, according to military officials in the Balkans and other experts, too. Collectors picking up the pieces of the wreckage as souvenirs. Chinese agents reportedly scoured the region, buying up parts of the plane from collectors and then studying those materials for insight into the stealth technology.
Well, now to Iran and their nuclear program. Iranian President put out an saying this morning that he hopes to resume talks with global by negotiations in Istanbul. At the same time, report today said that Tehran's nuclear program is ramping up. A study by American scientists says that Iran had to